Hi, I'm Mia, and this is my first chance to do my makeup in a week, and I really don't have time to do it still. But yeah, this is my first day off in a 53-hour, not 53-hour week, 53 hours in a row, so 6 days in a row. Except it's 5:30 right now, so alas. But I want to do something kind of like chartreusey green, kind of like springtime, but like Joe's. I know that's a very odd way to put it, but like people hate these tones of greens. I love them. And I really just need something to do, man. So yeah. So I'm going to start off with the cosmetic. This is what happens when I don't do my makeup for a week. So I'm going to start off with the Cosmic Brushes Undergrowth palette. If I can get this open. Jesus Christ. And I'm going to start off with some of Lichen. And I'm going to start. And I'm going to blend this all right there. I'm going to use this as like my main pop of color. In like, not the inner corner entirely, but like the inner upper crease, question mark. I really don't know how to describe this, man. And I am so tired, but today was the latest I've slept in. I woke up at 7:50, so again, sleeping in is a stretch for that. I also didn't have an alarm on, so my body decided that I don't deserve nice things and that I don't get time off, really. And then I'm gonna go in with some of Algae and then some of Marsh and use that to go a little more here. Again, just like a little gradient. But no, it is Tuesday, April 21st. So again, like my first time to do makeup in a week to the day, I think. Yesterday was 4/20 and the marathon in Boston. And surprise, surprise, it was dead as hell. Which is really funny because my manager's like, oh my god, everyone needs to work. Except she approved someone else's time off. And then one of the other girls had to call out because she got sick. So, but I'm just going back over and making this a little deeper. I'm so tired, man. Like, so tired. And I'm gonna bring this a little under here. So I still have to do my usual 4 days, but I have Sunday off. Theoretically, I'll have my other 2 days off too. Hopefully. I mean, again, my manager hasn't even touched that schedule probably, so who's to say? And then this is just a clean, fluffy brush. I'm just going to use that because I don't know what I was thinking here. But yeah, I'm so tired. I did go out today. Met my mother after work and we went to the Swan Boats. And we got some ice cream from Flower in Boston Common. Just something so insanely, like, not quick because it was like a 2-hour endeavor. But just something easy, a little outing, just something relaxing is more what the word I was trying to go for. Again, I am so tired. I've not talked to anyone besides customers in like a week. But I'm going to go in with a little round brush and again with some of the shade Lichen. And I'm going to make sure to press a bunch of that right underneath. And do a little there. Kind of blend it out. I'm not going to connect the two underneath though. And then with a little angled brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Bark. Hopefully that's green and not brown. I'm going to go in with the shade Nettle. I want something a little more blue-green based, but it's fine. And I'm going to make... This may not be the brush I want to use. Really flat-edged brush. A little bit of Nettle, a little bit of Bark. And I'm going to do a wing, hopefully. But it looks like I lost one of my camera batteries. Which is really funny because it's the one that came with my camera when I bought it. off of somebody else, and it's the actual Sony battery, so it's more expensive than the 2 I got on Amazon. I remember I took it out at work, but I thought I put it back in, and I emptied my bag out this morning, couldn't find it. Checked where I had put my camera, couldn't find it. And just, I can guarantee I'm gonna look for it like one more time in my bag, and I'm gonna find it despite me like entirely emptying it out. But like, I texted my coworker, I'm like, hey, odd question, but have you seen this? She's like, no, but you know, if you send me a photo I can look for it. I'm like, well, if you can't find it on the back desk, that's the only place it would be. But I sent it to her anyway, so get doubtful that she'll find it. But if she wants to look a little harder for me, I'm not gonna complain. But no, I only have a 42-hour work week this week, opposed to my 46-hour one. Dude, I'm just so tired. And like, my manager said that she had to be at our store and a different store yesterday. So I had expected that she was going to be the one at 3 o'clock, so I could leave and, you know, go home, God forbid. She thought I was doing a catering job, but again, she doesn't need to know that. And then one of the bakers came in, I'm like, he's like, oh no, blah blah blah, asked me if I could come in. I'm like, of course she did, because why wouldn't she actually come in and do her job? And I'm also going to go in with some of the NYX glitter primer, and I'm just going to put some on my lid. I know, wild concept. I'm sorry. I am so tired. Tried having a Monsters today, except I'm going to be honest, I get a subscription. It's like once a month. But the box was so damaged when it arrived that I had to take them all out, and they're all very dented and bent. So I had to get a refund for it because it was just not. So I opened one, and the can was so flimsy that I honestly didn't trust it to like make it all the way through me drinking it, so I only had like 2 sips. So I haven't had any caffeine today. On top of, you know, 53 hours straight. So, not so fun, not so fresh. And then this is from Terra Cosmetics. Like always, this is the shade Twinkle Dust. I know it looks a little pinky in the pan, but a majority, I can't find my mirror, a majority of the reflex are green, so I'm gonna put that there. Yeah, I really do love her. It's my favorite shade. Like, it's just so versatile. Like this over just some standard neutrals with a black wing. Easiest like fun pop of color you'll get for a shimmer. If you want, you know, zhuzh up your look a little, but you're a little too like, oh no, what do I do? Her. Twinkle Dust is that girl. And then also from Terra Cosmetics, this is the shade Charon, which is a little more green yellow. I'm gonna try to like do a little highlight. We did end up going to see Beauty and the Beast the last chance I got to film, actually, so the 14th. It was perfectly fine. It also made me realize that I don't think I've ever actually watched the, you know, Disney movie. I'm gonna bring some under here, because why not? Everyone was perfectly fine, but I feel like it's one of those things that should not be translated to live action at all. Or at least, you know, musical, like a touring one, a stage one. Because, you know, the whole thing is, you know, oh my god, furniture come to life. A big disgusting beast. Also, and this could just, this could be me being too woke. I don't like that they had a black guy portraying the Beast, and, you know, I think the only black guy in the cast, too, so, you know, when he's like, oh my god, you know, he's so big, and mean, and scary, and violent, and then they had a group of white guys go to kill the Beast. Again, this could be me being too woke. However, it seemed a little iffy. Again, everyone was perfectly fine. The guy playing Beast was actually on Broadway in Hamilton as Hercules Mulligan / John Adams. James Madison. So that was fun. They needed to turn Gaston's mic up. Like, he was a little too low. And again, I know that was just his mic. But again, it was perfectly fine. I have no desire to see it again, honestly. Like, I'm not a Disney person. Even when I was a kid, I was not like, I have no desire to see that. I have no desire to see Lion King. I have no desire to see Frozen, mostly because I was a tween at the height of all that, and I was not thrilled with life or that. So it's just one of those. Also, we did come home to find that Bridget ate it. Quite literally, It by Stephen King. She tore the cover off and also somehow got a page out of it. Don't know what page it was, but it was not one of the main ones, because like half of the cover is on, so like the bottom half is chewed off because she's a menace. And my mother's not crate trained here, but she's not my dog, so she's not my problem. But this is gonna be it for eyes. I need to go find some lashes, but I should be back in a second. Alright, I'm back. I've done some dillion, I've done some dallying, but I have lashes on, I have mascara on, and it's 6:09, so I should have enough time to finish this before the end dinner. Fingers crossed, hopefully. But let's move right along. This is from NYX Professional Makeup. This is the Plump Right Back Serum Primer. This is gonna be the last of my primer. Yeah. Like, I might be able to get one more use out of this. I lied. Liar. A fraud. But maybe I'll get that soon. I do have a nail appointment on Sunday, thank God. Just, these were a little too long to begin with. And a little too pointy. Emphasis on the too long mostly. But I really wanted to see Mother Mary on Sunday, but just, I don't want to waste my whole day because I don't know what my days off next week are. I don't know if I get the Monday off. I don't know if I get the Tuesday off, so I don't know if I want to waste my one day off, get my nails done, and then go into a movie, and also wasting more money. But my paycheck next week is about to be still not enough to live on my own. This is from Danessa Myricks Beauty. This is the Yummy Skin Glow Serum in the shade Main Squeeze. Just doing a little bit of her. But you know what I hate about April in Boston? It is in fact the marathon and everything that goes along with it. And, you know, to an extent, I understand it. You were on the marathon, fantastic. But, you know, the few days leading up, everyone will wear, you know, their jackets from previous years. But I saw somebody with the 2010 marathon jacket when I was going into work on Saturday. 2010. I would like it to be known that it's 2026. That's 16 years. And again, I understand to a point, but on the other hand, maybe let's not. And then this is from Haus Labs. This is the Trichlone Skin Tech Foundation in 70 Fair Neutral. And then on the other hand is I hate every single out of town marathoner, because even though they run a marathon, they're slow as hell when they're moving in the sidewalks. Like, and they have no situational awareness. I'm like, girl, waiting to cross the street today? I know the light signal, so I know, like, the traffic pattern. So I'm like, I'm not going to cross the street, because even though it looks like it's empty right here, there's another light, you know, 100 or so feet back that turns green, and cars will come from there. I know that. And again, if you're from a different city, wouldn't you want to be more careful about, you know, lights and crossing and stuff? So it was a group of like 4 past their 50s, crossing against the light and then acting all surprised when there are cars coming and speeding and beeping at them. Because, you know, no one really cares. They're gonna beep at you. They're gonna be like, why are you being stupid? Like, it's the day after the marathon. Nobody's gonna stop for you. And again, it's always the out-of-towners. Because there's a stretch of street. I was down by the aquarium today. There's a stretch of sidewalk where half of it is like blocked off because of outdoor dining stuff. So the actual walkable sidewalk part is very small. So, you know, the 3 to 4 of them decided to block that entire space and then act all surprised and huffy when I have to, like, push past them because they're being stupid. And I'm not in my work clothes today. I was cursing everyone out. Like, I was being bitchy about it because they're being stupid about it. And then this is from About Face. This is the Performer. No, this is the Illusionist Skin Focus Concealer. But I'm like, you're gonna go to someone else's city and act stupid doing it. Like, I really can't stand people. They're just so, and it's especially the fact that you're acting all surprised that the drivers aren't stopping for you when you're crossing against the light. And this is a fairly busy street. It's not like you're like, be like, oh wow, there are no cars coming. Oh wow, this is like a random side street that no one goes on. This is like the main street down by the aquarium. I'm like, everyone bothers me so much. And then there's a lady on the train with like 3 kids because it's school break, so maybe it's a good thing that I only have the 1 day off. You know, she was sitting across from them for some reason, and then the 3 of them sit in a different aisle, so they're yelling back and forth at each other, and the kids are really loud to the point that I can hear them over my AirPods, which, you know, they're playing things, and I have set up to be noise canceling. So if I can hear these children over that, maybe you should tell them to shut up. Or, hey, we're inside a train. Other people exist. Let's use our inside voices. And again, don't sit across from them and let them shout out across to you. Like, excuse me. Do people not parent anymore? I know they don't, but like. And then I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Contour in the shade Gentle. Again, not a contour. Not, like, once it's blended out, not a contour. Like, it's a fairly okay bronzer on days, depending on the tone of my foundation. Because, you know, some neutral tones are a little peachier than others. Yada, yada, yada. So it depends on the foundation I'm wearing. It will depend on if it's just a straight bronzer or, like, a good in-between color. I don't think I mentioned it, but Saturday the 11th was so stupidly busy for no reason. Like, I made $16 in tips. I don't usually make that much. And I did not make many tips this weekend because I was just kind of tired and done with people. And because of the marathon, it brought out all of these stupid people. So I was like, I'm just not, like, I can't even pretend anymore. Thankfully, all of the shifts went by really, like, Friday through Monday, all of the shifts went by so quickly, it was a little insane. And I mean, to be fair, Monday was a shortened shift. I was out at 3. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday shifts felt super short, which I was so grateful for, even though they were, you know, the same, you know, 9.5, 8.5 hour shifts. But I was so grateful that they felt so much shorter. Like, the day flew by, like, because it was slow. You know, I couldn't do anything. So I'm like, well, say less. And I actually did get some editing done because I finally had time to do it during work. Like, you know what? This is, like, I'm kind of loving this, not gonna lie. And then this is from Huda Beauty. This is the blush filter liquid blush in the shade Sunset Lychee. And now, I would like to preface this with saying, I know I have no claim, I have no right to tips. But, you know, guy orders, I think it was 2 12-packs. So nothing overly large, like, yeah, sure, a little later than I usually do 12-packs. That's usually like a morning thing. It was Saturday, maybe? So, like, nobody really gets a 12-pack unless they're with a bunch of people. But, you know, he's like, thing didn't show up for card tips on the machine. I'm like, yeah, we don't do card tips, blah, blah. He's like, I'm known for being a really good tipper, because, you know, I grew up poor. Now he's like, I'm wearing a $27,000 watch, so, like, I like to tip. I like to, you know. He's like, oh, you know, Venmo, Cash App. I'm like, no offense. I'm like, every time somebody says they're gonna Venmo or Cash App me, they never do, so I don't even bother at this point. He's like, no. He's like, I talk a big game, I need to back it up now. I'm like, okay. I'm like, here it is. You know, then he hangs around for a little while because first he mistyped, and he's like, oh, this you? I'm like, no. And then I got busy, so he couldn't, like, make sure that I got it. And, you know, I still haven't had the chance to look at it. But, you know, he's like, oh my god, thank you for the cookies. He's like, they're so good. He's like, hopefully my tippers, because, like, he got a 12-pack, and then he got, like, 2 on the side for him. So he's like, oh my god, these are so good. I'm sure everyone else will love them. He's like, I hope my tip restored your faith in humanity. It was a $10 tip. And, yes, I know. I'm grateful for any tips, because I'm not entitled to tips. I'm not totally tip reliant like most, like, servers are. This is from MAC. This is their powder blush in the shade Desert Rose. I found it at Marshall's for like $12. $10 on 2 12-packs? I'm like, I don't want to, thankfully he was gone. I'm like, I don't want to burst your bubble, my man. But, I have a regular that does that every Wednesday. I have a regular on Thursdays who would tip me $5 for 2 cookies. I'm like, we don't charge him because he, well, at least to, because she doesn't come in anymore. But, you know, he would park my manager's car for free, so we'd give him free cookies when he asked. But he would still throw us a 20. One of his coworkers came in the other night, too. So, shout out. But I'm like, again, no offense, very grateful. But this isn't like, you're bragging about a $27,000 watch. I'm expecting like 20 to 50. Not 10. Like, I didn't say that to him. And again, grateful for anything. However, if you make it a point to be like, oh my god, you know, $27,000 watch, I'm known for, like, being, like, the best tipper ever. Dude. And then this is from Essence. This is the Soft Touch Bouncy Glow highlighter in the shade 10 Soft Glaze. Then some dude came in. And, like, I was watching him, it might have been Friday. I was watching him pace outside the store for like 5-10 minutes before we opened, and I'm like, I just didn't have a good feeling about him. I thought, but he comes in, he's like, oh, need cookies, food, blah, blah. We were miscommunicating on the numbers because I thought he said 16, so I repeated him, like, 16. He's like, yeah. And he's like, I need, you know, this type of cookie for 60 people. I'm like, 60. He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's not physically possible. I'm like, I do not have the stock. I'm like, I have like 24 total. He's like, well, what can you do? I'm like, well, I could probably do a little bit of this, and this, and like, so it came out to $150. He's like, oh, he's like, can I do the same, you know, same exact order, but for pickup in like 2 hours? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that, I'm like, and you've come in before and I've told you I can't do big orders like this. But I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So another $180, so about, what, $330 worth of product? First, he was 45 minutes late to the time that he suggested. He didn't tip shit. I'm like, so I tell you that I'm making an exception about this order. I'm like, I don't usually allow pickup orders like this in store just because if I lose my receipt, you're like, yada yada yada. So you're gonna go on and be like, oh my god, you're the best, you're doing God's work, everyone's gonna be so excited, you're a lifesaver, blah 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 blah. And I make an exception for $330 worth of shit for you. And bust my ass on top of everything else I'm doing. Men. You better not come in here expecting anything from me ever again. I'm gonna be honest here. And then this is from Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Color Pencil in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. That's the wrong side of my mirror. But yeah, I'm just so tired and I don't want to go back to work tomorrow. And one of my coworkers is sick. So I doubt she's going to be better by Thursday. So I'm a little concerned about my shifts. Because she's the main one who's supposed to relieve me. And there is a baker scheduled for like half an hour before she is. Except both of these bakers, one of them has a really bad habit of being like an hour and a half late and then trying to leave early. And the other one has a really bad habit of trying to call out 20 minutes before a shift. And again, every time he does, he's like, oh, you know, this person in my family just had like a medical emergency. And I'm like, obviously I'm not going to question it, because if that's real, that's a shitty thing to do. However, if it's every single time you have a shift and you use that excuse every single time, I'm going to be a little suspicious. I'm not going to ever bring it up, but I'm going to be like, every single time you call out is a medical emergency? Again, not going to bring it up, but so I'm not exactly relying on anybody. And she also has, I'm pretty short, so I'm not in technical overtime on the schedule. But she has me out at 6 when the next person in is at 6:30, so I'm like, I'll leave the store for half an hour. Don't try me. I'm kind of done with everything. And then this is from Fenty Beauty. This is the Gloss Bomb Oil Luminizing Lip Oil and Gloss in the shade Fussy. Also found this at TJ Maxx with the MAC blush. So, gonna... It's funny because, you know, it's described as like pink, and I'm like, is it though? I'm like, this is definitely a little orangey. It's so funny because it's such a thicker color, thicker formula than the jellyfish one I have, which makes sense, but I was trying to hee haha. Alright, I need to go fix my bangs. They've been a little off today, but I should be back in a second. Alright, and this is the finished look. I adore the eyes. Like, I think it came out so nice. This is exactly what I wanted. Don't look at my bangs. Like I said, they've been acting weird. They didn't dry, and I tried fixing them. It just didn't work. I don't love the blush combination. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with the formula. I'm not thrilled with that MAC shade, though. But it was, like I said, it was like $12, so. Lips, fine. Whatever. Like, they match the blush enough, but it's just one of those. I find it funny when two of the same products have a slightly different formula. Again, Fussy versus Miss Jellyfish, so it's just a weird. But like I said, I really need to get my makeup done. Still get ahead. So now I'm good until the 5th, I think. And again, this is the 21st. I need to start importing the ugly ass look I did last. But say lovey. But yeah.